Okay, hello. Let's get started. I welcome to the channel. Welcome to this live edition. It's gonna be strange. Yesterday we had a nice success with test BDD Cucumber. There were a couple of people who joined. When you join the channel, please in the chat write something, say hello, just that I know that some people are around and are interested. And then later on, if you have any questions, that's too in the chat. You can type. I can see the chat. I turned off the. I'm not sure where to see the number of people who are watching the live video, besides the place where I'm actually watching the video. But I don't want to get that feedback loop. So I don't want to watch myself write something, especially because it has a little delay. And that gets really confusing. So just to see what happened yesterday, we worked on the test BDD Cucumber module. We're trying to figure out how to use it, and we went over the first set of examples. So we went through the examples. Actually, I have here, not here, wrong window. Here I have a cloned version, so if we are in the branch which is called tests that I created and pushed it out and sent a pull request, and I can let you know that I'm really happy that it was accepted, the pull request. So we'll have to integrate that and then continue working on the new version of the code. So that's gonna be the first thing. But here. How to contribute, not that one. I wanted to go to the repository link, and this one can go back. Okay, so first of all, my pull request was accepted, so I have to integrate it back. But even before that, in case you don't know, BDD behavior-driven development, and specifically this module implements the Cucumber style description of behaviors, and it has this tool called Perl to run that, but you can also run the tests using proof. So if we go to the repository, the one thing that I wanted to do is get the URL of the upstream. So this is going to be the upstream URL. Here git remote -v shows me that I have my remote is in my own user. So this is the fork I have. So I add git remote add minus whatever upstream. I don't need the minus and the link. So I just add another remote to my Git repository to be able to pull from that, fetch from that repository, so we'll be able to update it. Now if I run git remote -v, then I can also see the upstream. The name doesn't really matter, but it's sort of a common thing. Git checkout master, CO is just a shorthand for me for checkout. So I'm on the Git on the master branch, and now I can git pull upstream master. So I'm going to pull down whatever was in the upstream. This is the test that we wrote yesterday, and it got merged. And I'm going to look at the comments there actually also, because that's also interesting. So now I have this other branch, git branch -d tests. I can get rid of it, and I can also git push out the master branch, so it will be on my remote repository, the master branch updated. And I can also git push, I think it's delete tests, right? This is how I know. Git push, I don't remember how to do this, origin. This is I think the old school way to remove a remote branch. So just putting this colon in front of it. There's also somehow the delete, but I don't remember now. So now I removed the remote version of the test. So I removed the local version of the test branch and the remote one, just so we don't, because we don't need that anymore, because it got integrated. Now if I go back to this repository and I look at the pull requests, specifically the one that I created, so this is the last one which was integrated, and there Eric, the maintainer basically of this this module, where is this the conversation? Where is the comment? Where are the comments? Interesting. Commits? No, the commits, the files changed. Where are the comments? There were comments here. Okay. There was supposed to be a conversation. I lost it. If anyone view details, no. We had some conversation here. Maybe it's really interesting, strange. Maybe it's in the commit. Let me see the code. Where is it? This is the pull request that was merged. Here it is. Okay, I have no idea. It's this where I was earlier and why I didn't see it earlier. Strange. Anyway, so this is the conversation. It's in the conversation, so I don't know. Eric says that he's going to add some other explanation, because we're unclear about the Perkin command, why it's not failing or why it's not reporting a failure. I'm not sure if this explanation is the one that will help me, but anyway, I will figure it out. But the main point that was interesting, that he says that the Ledger SMB project uses Cucumber. So one of the ways that we can learn about this module and how to use it is, of course, to see the examples that are in the source code, and that's what we started. Then I can go also, that's what I usually do, I go to the reverse dependencies. I'm opening in the new tab. I'm opening the reverse dependencies to see which modules are on cpan are declaring this test BDD Cucumber as a dependency, and obviously there we'll be able to see examples. And seems to be some issue with MetaCpan now, because when I tried to open the other window, it was also really slow. So I don't know. Yeah, there is some problem there on MetaCpan. Okay. So that's going to be fixed hopefully soon. Let me just link here. Look at here. So the Ledger SMB, which is on GitHub. Hopefully GitHub will answer us. And then Eric says that it's the test, which is called XT66 Cucumber. So it's that in the T, not in the T, in the XT. Right. In the XT directory, there is the this, where is it? 66 wait a second. It says C60 Cucumber. So, okay. No, that's not the one that I saw earlier. So there is this test case here in XT, but I think actually, it's here inside. Okay, so inside XT, there's 66 Cucumber, and here you can see lots of test cases. So if you go to a basic test case, we'll see that inside there is, for example, change password feature, and then the change password feature says given a standard test company and a logged in admin, how to change it. So that's going to be an interesting way to read a little bit more about how to use the BDD module, and then there's also so here this is the test case, and in the step definition you will find the implementation of the regular expressions that will match all these or the text, and based on that I'll execute the code. So let's go back to the source code, because the source code is here. And here we had the examples directory, and in the examples directory we looked at the digest thingy earlier. Let me track the other ones. So the examples, there is the calculator, and in the calculator there is the features and basic feature. So this is going to be interesting to understand. Okay, so this is a calculator module. Okay, let's see, before we get there, let's see the other ones as well. So this was the one. Then there is something with localizations, so in German and in Spanish. And there is also something called tagged digest, which let me see how complex that is, because yesterday yeah, so this is the same digest module, it seems. It's very similar to the digest. But there are these tags. So I guess we'll have to learn what are these tags. Okay. So let's go for now and go over the calculator. This is the test description and examples, calculator, features, and then the step definition, and in the step definition there's the calculator steps. And on the other hand, so let's see what's there. In the examples calculator, what we have is the basic features in Spanish. That's gonna be fun to see. There is also the implementation of the regular expressions, and this is the module that's being tested. Okay, so we are testing this module, and we'll see what's going on. So it's in calculator lib, and this is the module. Okay, so this module uses moo and has I have no idea what. Okay, so again, before we go on, I read during the night when I was supposed to sleep, I read a little bit about BDD, and so I have some more understanding. I bought a BDD book a couple of years ago, and now it was time to read it. And one of the key things that it said to me is that, well, the thing that people, I already mentioned yesterday that BDD is not per se testing. It's more the idea of talking, is the process of talking, of conversation between the stakeholders of the project, including the customer if possible, or at least the representative of customer or the project manager. If you have like if they're like all the world is your customers, then you probably can't have a customer on your side, but you might have someone who represents the customer or asks people, and the developers and the UI people and everyone else. And the BDD is the idea basically, and the process of having this conversation and describing then the cases. So and then there are these languages, or at least there are a couple of these languages, I guess, that allow frameworks basically that allow you to describe the problems that you, the cases that you have, and to refine the cases, and then to write them up, and then that's the key part of it. Not so much not specifically the implementation, but we are looking at the implementation, because that's what we are looking at now. So here we have a basic calculator function. In order to check I have written the calculator class correctly, as a developer I want to check some basic operations so that I can have confidence in my calculator class. Okay, so that's the feature, that's the description of it, and then we have a scenario. I sort of I'm missing the broader view of what the calculator is supposed to do, but maybe the scenarios should explain to me. So it says that the first key press on the display, so that's like a calculator UI thing, I don't know. given a new calculator object, okay, having pressed 1, the display should show 1. Okay, that sounds good. Okay, that sounds actually simple. So let's see how it's converted into a test. It says so that we have to go to the step definition and see how it's being parsed. Okay, so this is the test definition. Let me see. Before use, so we don't in the other case we saw, I think. Let me open the other one, because the digest and then features and basic features. So it had a background, yeah, and the background had a given clause, and that was causing the module under test to be loaded. Okay, in our case, we just have a before statement. So I guess this is something. It's something like a fixture that will happen before running all the rest of the tests, and then I guess after is going to run after all the tests. So it's going to be like a cleanup of the test. So in the Perl world, the test more world, I don't think that there is really a good way of setting up fixtures that is available in the XUnit world and in Python and in other languages, and also in test class. I saw it in Perl, but in the test more world I don't think that's available. So the fixture would be setting up the environment beforehand, and in this case the environment is really simple. It's only having the calculator object used, so in memory. So this use OK will it basically loads the calculator module and checks whether it was loaded into memory. It's like a use statement, but checking also that it successfully happened, instead of raising an exception if it can't. Okay, and then after, so the after thing, yeah. So I think this is just it says a bit contrived, as garbage collection would clear it out. So I guess this is here, not because it's required here, it's just to show how the after statement works in our case. Okay, so it's probably not needed because the things are cleaned up actually. So this $C is I don't know what object is. That's probably the test cucumber gives you this object, so it's gonna be interesting as well. Okay, there is a function, there's a transform here. Given a new calculator object, so this is matched by this here, this code. Given a new calculator object, it calls the calculator new, creates the object, and assigns it to this attribute calculator in the S instance, which is the S, I guess, stands for scenario. Okay, so this is how we start, and having pressed 1. So also having pressed, here is another given statement, even though it's in AND, okay, but it's still a given statement. Having pressed something, so this something is going to be in CMatch, which is, so this is going to be in our case, okay, in our case this is going to be this number 1, and there is some noises here. There are some noises. Okay, having pressed 1. Okay, so what is this? Okay, so there is split. Okay, well, in our case this is going to be just 1. So split doesn't do anything. Maybe in later cases we'll need this split, and then we'll get a loop on the number 1 in this case. So we assign to this calculator press 1. So basically we take the calculator object that we just created here and call the press method on it and pass 1, the number 1 to it in our case. Okay, and then the display should show 1. So let's see where this is matched. Here is then, okay, so it's basically there is only one then regular expression, then the display should show something, okay. So as I understand, all the tests are focusing on various things, are going to be focusing on various things you're pressing on the calculator, and then what is shown on the display. That's the only thing that we are testing here. So we have we have this regular expression matches something. It matches a single thing. So it's funny because now it's taking all the matches, but there's only one, and creating and this is a reference to an array, creating back an array of it, and then assigning the array to this list. But there is only one value of it. So we could have used the same thing that we had here. Here the C matches square bracket 0. This could have been used here as well. So this would, something like this would work the same, I guess. Okay, and let me actually try this. So comment it out. I'll just comment it out for now. And what we wanted to do is run this. So Perkin and then examples calculator. This is how it would run the tests, all the tests. Okay, so we ran all the tests in here, but we can also, let me try this. So we can also, okay, the one that we saw is that we wanted to use the strict parameter. We liked that yesterday. It made us more comfortable with the results. It looks that it's still passing. So if I print out, it's still passing. But the other thing would be is prove minus source feature, and then I don't remember exactly how we ran this. Examples, calculator, and if I recall correctly, I just had to add it. And extension. Okay, we also have to tell it that it's an extension. Okay. And do we still need the recursive thing? Okay, so now we tested one file with 51 test cases, and it passed. Let me check if the -r is still needed. Well, it is needed. So -r is needed, and it's not. I would say it would be nice to have this in, maybe not in the synopsis, but maybe in the synopsis, telling, okay, how to try this, or if you clone the repository, and then how to try these examples. So here we have to recursively run, and then we load the feature plugin of, okay, I'm not familiar with this part of proof. We tell it that the extension, it will look for the extension .feature instead of .t, and in this directory, and that's how it ran. So now if I go back to the editor and replace that code, then it should still work the same way, right? Okay, so I don't need to change this. I just wanted to make sure that I understand properly that this is the same thing. So this is the value that we got from the regular expression, and then we are expecting that in the calculator object, if we call the display method, then it will be equal to this value exactly. Okay, and the calculator display as expected. I would probably put here the value. Okay, so when I see let me do this without and with. So now I'm running it in verbose mode. It's going to be interesting. You can see all the test cases. And actually, probably I don't need that, because it adds some text in the display should show. Okay, the way apparently it works that it automatically adds the explanation. So it was the first one. Let's see the first one. In given a new calculator object, and the second one in end having pressed 1. Okay, that's not really. I don't know where is it coming from. Okay, in end having added these numbers. Then the display should show 1. That's the text here. That's the first text. Ah, okay. So it prints out. Okay, let me check. The first thing that we saw is this test case, the use calculator. Okay, so when we look at the output of the test, of the verbose test, then the first one was this: in given a new calculator object. That's not that one. Interesting. So that one is not printed. I'm not sure I understand this. In given a new calculator object. This is the regular expression. In given a new calculator object. It's not a test. It's just a call to a function and an assignment. But it seems that it's being reported as a test case in proof. Okay? So it is calculated as a test case when we given a new calculator object. And in end having pressed 1, that's the next statement. And in then the display should show 1. And then prints out the scenario. Okay, so the scenario text is going to be the comment. And the text from the feature is also a comment, the diag message at the beginning. So I'm a little bit surprised that I don't see the text from this use statement, use okay. And I don't see the test either at all. And I'm also a little bit surprised that each one of these, so when this is matching, then this is reported as a test by proof. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so what now? So this is the first test. This is the second test. Several key presses on the display. If I go back to this terminal, let me clear this, let me run this again. So it has lots of these extra comments for whatever reason that I don't really like, but what can we do now? Nothing. I won't do anything with that for now. In given a new calculator object again, and having pressed 1 and 2 and 3 and dot and 5 and 0. Okay, let me just write down something here. Okay. So, who is here? Write something in the chat. Okay, so I'll see that some other people are around. It's not just me talking to myself with some background noise. Okay, I think. Sorry, I think I'll have to cut it short for now, and then I'm going to continue this some other day, because maybe I'll. No. Okay, so No, I can continue. Okay, I think I can continue. Okay, where were I? Where was I? Ah, it's horrible. My English is really broken. Sorry.